Hello, couch co-opers, couch potatoes, and couch co-dependents. This is the Couch Co-op Show. I'm Ian, and on the couch tonight, I have almost a full couch. We got Jared, Dave, Nick, and Aaron.
Hello.
Woo! What up?
How's everybody?
Word.
Thirsty.
I'm good. Having my first beer of
Yeah.
the day. I'm doing okay.
Cool.
Same.
Having my first alcoholic beverage, at least, of the day.
Yeah.
I was too lazy to go get beer. So
I get
always
that.
usually, my ritual usually is getting a beer at my last account of the day, but I was like, I just want to go the fuck home. So tired.
Well, we are the Couch Co-op Show, and we do a podcast every week here on youtube.com/MilkmanPictures, and you can find it in reruns on that same channel, or on Spotify, or on iTunes, or on Audible. And we appreciate you listening to our show.
It made it audible.
We
Yeah.
have a fun-packed show for you tonight, as long as everyone
we
did their
do.
homework.
Yeah.
Hey Nick, do you have a beer for us this week? A beers? A battle?
I do have a battle for the ages.
Oh, a battle
Ooh.
for the ages.
Oh boy.
So we've got, I guess these are the last two fresh hop beers that I have that also come from
Fresh
Stormbreaker Brewing. But
Yeah.
Oh, I like
I've got-
Stormbreaker.
They did a ton
What's
of them
that?
then, huh?
I like Stormbreaker. They do generally.
Oh,
good
yeah.
beer.
yeah, I've been kind of impressed with
They
them
do.
lately. But anyway, the first one I have is the fresh hop is strong with this one from Stormbreaker, and
Huh.
of course it's
Oh.
got. And when I mean a battle for the ages, going up against
Same one
It's
from last
actually-
year.
no, it's a fresh hop hazy IPA, set freshies to haze.
Huh.
Ooh.
Okay,
like
we
it.
got Star Wars versus Star Trek, huh?
Oh,
Thank you,
That's
Jared.
I dig
Absolutely
it.
brilliant.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
awesome.
it brings people together and blows
That
them
made-
apart.
That makes
That's
me like that
awesome.
brewery even more.
Right?
Yeah, everything I've had of theirs is so good.
Yeah, same.
Mhm.
And I'm willing to give. I mean, I'm not really a huge hazy IPA guy, but I'm willing to
Right.
Hey,
give this
why
one a
not?
try, and we'll start off with this one.
I'm drinking a hazy.
Mm.
I wish I had hazies. I should have grabbed when I was at the store. Oh well.
Well, while Nick is taking care of that, Jared, what happened this day in gaming history?
Oh, this day in gaming history, Shinobi was released. Not the original, but the PlayStation 2 edition back in
The Xbox one?
2002. Yeah. It was. I'd never played that one. I only played like the Sega
was pretty
Genesis
good.
one, and then there was one on the PS3. I think we got for free once upon a time. I got the platinum in that.
I can't
But
remember.
Shinobi's been around for a minute. This was also the release day of Call of Duty World at War back 16 years ago in 2008. Also,
Man.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, everybody's favorite,
Oh.
came out 15 years
Oh.
ago.
What is
Many
done that
hours
one?
spent on that one.
And I'm going to go with
PvPs
this one.
friends.
It came out on the 11th, but I'm just counting some of those East Coast midnight releases as the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is 13 years old today.
Mhm.
I thought that was
Yeah.
last
Tomorrow,
month. It was
right.
13.
11,
Wow.
11.
It's 11/11. Is when
What?
it,
Yeah. What's funny is the thing I looked at had it
11/11
today, 11:10.
Oh.
So
Yeah. So it's on there. I was like, I have to put that on there.
yeah.
A birthday we missed is N7 Day, well, in Mass Effect Day.
Oh yeah, that was last.
So that's
Tuesday?
just a handful of days ago. Today's only the 10th, so it was just a few
3
days ago.
3 days. Yeah.
And
Business.
also this day in 1981, Walter Day opened Twin Galaxies.
Oh.
What's that?
That's the
Wow,
arcade where
arcade.
they kept track,
Pinball. Or, not pinball. The
they kept track of video game scores and stuff like that on arcade machines.
Donkey Kong one. That's
Yes.
the whole
Yeah.
drama with
Oh,
Donkey
Yeah.
Kong.
King of
the
Kong.
King of Kong.
Yeah.
Fistful of
I've-
quarters or something like that.
I've got
yeah.
a couple more if you're done, Jared. Or
Oh.
if you got
Yeah,
more.
throw them out.
So I saw Rise of the Tomb Raider. Came out
Yes.
nine years ago on the Xbox.
Great game.
And then Dishonored
Sounds
2.
good.
Oh, that's right. Rise of the Tomb Raider got that Xbox funding, so it only came
Yeah.
out on Xbox. until the 20th anniversary edition came out to the PlayStation.
And then you know how I like to do the computing. This day in 1983, Microsoft released Windows 1.0.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
awesome.
So,
Yeah, Windows, man. That's what we're.
the start of
I
world
think all of us
domination.
are using.
yeah.
31 years
Sort
ago.
of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so a
oh
little
my.
bit of fun history, all kinds of stuff going on. The Mass Effect thing I brought up because I acquired my ship in No Man's Sky. That was
Nice.
a lot of work, but man, I had a great time.
Is that just a? It's just a battleship, right? Like a cruiser type thing.
It's like a frigate.
You know,
It's
not the
it's
frigate.
a frigate, so it's like one of those ones you kind of send off on missions and stuff like that. But I don't have a crew for it yet, so I couldn't summon it. My daughter claimed the PlayStation after I got it, so I didn't even get to freaking check it out.
Wait, who's the parent in your house?
So,
I don't know. Apparently,
So
not me.
can you get Shepard? At least to command it.
Yeah.
A Shepard-esque character.
So I'm excited to play more of that.
Well, thanks for this. That's been your day, our day, the day in gaming history. Quickly go back to Nick. How's that beer, Nick?
Pretty tasty, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still working on the hazy part of it, but
Yeah, you're pretty early on.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few sips out of it.
yeah, no, I mean, just I don't know, just like I said, I don't know if hazies are really my thing.
Well, if you wanna donate any of your hazies to the Aaron's Belly Foundation, it always
Yeah.
takes beer.
Mhm.
Always does. I don't
Alright.
judge.
All right, cool. Well, you
You
continue
should have
on.
like a donation booth somewhere where you just stick a funnel in your mouth and we can all just.
just
Well,
garbage beer. Just mix them.
just have to cut a hole in my door.
All right,
Get down on one knee.
Dave, did you play a demo this week?
I did.
Awesome.
Yeah. All
Time
right.
to buy, try, or die.
Oh yeah.
We should
So-
really make a sound clip for that.
I played a game called, or a demo called Exhausted Man.
Oh, our
it's an
lives.
indie game.
It's a game about us.
Yeah, it's an indie game
Yeah.
out of a studio from Beijing. And it described it as a physics comedy game. So I was kind of like, okay, I enjoyed Goat Simulator. It was stupid fun. Maybe this will be that kind of thing.
Oh, is this the one you're like crawling around?
Yeah,
that
it's
you
more
just
of
can't get up.
It's more of a puzzle game. You're kind of almost like a human slug, and you just take like naps and
Oh,
grab
now it's a
stuff.
game after.
Oh, so you're a baby. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. It was kind of heavy-handed with the point. Like the backstory was like, oh, they're tired, but they've got so much to do, and everyone else is, the only way they can succeed is to do even more and be even more tired. And it was just like, so I played it. It was a fun little puzzle game. I could imagine. It would make a good mobile game. It's not something I would want to sit there and play for more than half an hour, which is about what I played on the demo. It's $7.99 on Steam. It's $9.99 on Switch and PlayStation. It's probably on Xbox as well. I didn't actually check. But it came out in 2022, and it's a fun little game. It's not for me. But I can see how people would like it. And I mean, the review scores are pretty good, like 7 out of 10, 9 out of 10, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, it's a good game.
if you like those little
Solid.
kind of puzzle games, it's fun. So for me, it's a try if you're looking for something, especially the demo gives you a good flavor of the game, and you'll know if it's for you. I could kind of see Jared playing it.
I like puzzle games.
My.
Yeah.
I thought JPK was gonna say something like that.
There we go.
Well, there's always one, isn't there? Well, there was no sexual
me.
space torture in this one, so you're all good there.
Well, I'll pass then. Thank you. Have a good
Well,
night.
at least not in the demo. I'm sure you could.
Yeah, maybe there's one of those levels.
Yeah.
You they gotta like somehow work all these like simulator games together in like a grandiose simulator, and like
Oh my
Jared
God,
could be
that'd
like
be
PC
huge.
building and then get so exhausted that it morphs into exhausted gaming. You know, just like it like
It just chains them in. It's
yeah,
like,
just like
Yeah, that's
That'd
how
be
your
kinda
character
cool.
gets home every day, is a different maze back
or
to the
there needs to
house.
be a game called Life Simulator, and then it's just full. It's just like a package of all the simulator games in like an open world type of thing. You know, like you get
Yeah.
up and just like go farming. I don't know. I don't know. I just think that'd be funny.
Yeah.
That would be one frustrating game, but probably really fun.
Anyway, for me, this one's a try. You know, wasn't a terrible game. It just it was a well-made game, unlike some of the other demos I've played. You know, where they're just absolute. It's like, wow, people put this out.
And it's pretty feature rich. Like it had like a good amount of stuff to do.
Yeah. Like the first level just introduces the cards, because you have like task cards that you can choose your order in which you do them, and the second level had like 28 of them. The first
Oh,
level
wow.
had like 3 or 4. So
Oh,
You know.
man.
there's a lot of stuff you could do.
That's a check the box game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Sometimes it's nice to play games like that because we play a lot of heavy story games. Sometimes it's nice to be a silly game once in a while. I feel like, honestly, it's nice.
Yeah, sometimes my mind needs a kind of a chore game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that, Dave. Thanks for that try. And
Yeah.
what else do we do? I guess we move on to the main topic of the week.
Yes.
So this is fun. I was, this is kind of Jared and Dave and I are about to embark on replaying The Saboteur, and then we're gonna do a special episode about that. But I thought it'd be cool, like, what other games that we've played one time and that we've always wanted to go back and replay for whatever reason, we just haven't. But like, what would be some of those games? And then I thought that would be a fun thing. I gave you guys a bunch of rules this time too. It couldn't be, you had to have beaten it.
Yeah.
Couldn't be a game you're currently playing again. There's a bunch of rules. Usually I'm pretty
Yes.
lenient about stuff, but I thought
Right.
let's break down the criteria
this.
a little bit.
Okay.
So anyway, so top 3 games we would like to replay. We've played once and beaten and completed. Like to do it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a hard time putting this list together?
Not at all.
Not really.
I could have
really.
kept the list going. I could have. There's a lot of games I'd love to
I
play.
think the
again.
interesting thing for my list was it was all more like recent story-heavy games.
I had
where
some, yeah.
rather than like I want to go back and play, I don't know, Mario or something.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that wasn't. Mhm.
Platformers did not jump into my head.
There was another reason I came up with this list, and I'm talking to Gabe, who I do the Blank as a Fart podcast with, our Twin Peaks podcast.
Check it out.
Check it out. Plug. But he replays his games a lot.
Wow.
And it's like,
Hmm.
I feel like sometimes we do this show and we just are constantly moving to the next thing and don't really ever go back. And so he's like played like Ghost of Tsushima like 3 times and Spider-Man 2 twice now. And he's just like, he really plays the game, a lot. So it's like he really has I just thought that was interesting. Like, so there are those people. And then I was listening on the last DLC podcast. I forget what game he was talking about. The guest they had on, but he had played another game like 3 times already, and it's like he just keeps going back to it. It's like, who
Jeez.
does
Oh,
do
man.
this? Like, but they're not
Yeah.
reviewing games or talking about
It's
games
just-
all the time. They buy a game and they like it and they keep playing it. It's anyway.
Kind
mean,
of
I
like when
think-
we were kids.
Yeah, I was going to
right?
say, when you were
Right.
younger, you do that because you just didn't have as many games.
Yeah.
And then it just makes me think like I would like to go
Or-
back and play some games that I've already
Yeah.
played, and I have all this collection. Why do I keep pushing myself to get new stuff? I mean, new stuff is fun. Let's be honest.
Oh, I know.
Right.
I have like 70 games installed on my PlayStation and my PlayStation 4 and my Switch. So there's like 200, close
Yeah.
to 200 games between all my systems right now.
I also feel
I'm
it's like
wow.
movies. When I was younger, I used to watch movies over and
Over
over
and
I-
over and
I
over.
can't
Oh
remember
yeah.
the last movie I watched more than twice.
Mhm.
You know,
Oh, I
Yeah, same
watch
here.
movies pretty
But-
often.
But
Same.
the other thing about some of these story heavy games are games that also let you kind of choose your own adventure sort of
Oh, yeah.
thing, like in terms
Right.
of like
yeah,
You can make it
especially
different,
with
yeah.
well, at least I mean I'll
Well, it's
kind of go
semi-different.
into it with some of my picks, but
Right.
Well,
But, yeah,
and
there's-
games I have replayed, like story wise, it's cool to know what characters end up doing in the series and kind of picking up on like trigger words and conversations and what they actually mean, you know? So it's kind of cool to go back and listen to some of that
yeah,
stuff.
because I really enjoyed replaying the Mass Effects. I know we did that
Same. Oh
recently,
my
and
god, I loved
Yeah.
it so
those were a
much.
set of games I'd only played through once. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Mass
Alright.
Effect 2 I did several times.
Oh yeah.
Oh
me
my
too.
god, same
Yeah,
here.
but-
Same with
yeah.
3.
Let's go ahead and start,
Let's
huh?
do it. Let's
3.
kick it off, Jared. Number 1 or number 3. Number 1. First choice. number
I'll
3.
go with probably the most recent one on my list is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh.
oh, that's a good choice.
I kind of blitzed
That's a
through that
fantastic
game,
choice.
and I didn't really get good at the battle system. I didn't even try certain aspects of it very often, but
combos and
I'm
stuff,
really
oh,
interested
dude.
to explore more. I didn't take much time to explore, and the worlds in that game were so beautiful. And I thought, like, even the story and the characters were super engaging, and I would absolutely love to go back into that world.
So to add on to
I didn't even
that,
think about that one,
yeah,
man.
that
That's
was
a
a
great choice.
beautiful game. Yeah,
so to
We
add on to that,
recently got it free on PC, Ian.
I know. I haven't.
So maybe
Sorry.
maybe
Aaron,
I
go
can play a potato version of it. Go ahead, Aaron.
I was gonna say to add on to that, I actually took my time through that game.
Nice.
Dude, it is so good. And this, like, even in like the Milano, like, okay, you can dink around in there a lot, obviously, but I like the fact you get a choice soundtrack in that. Like, you can get all
Oh,
the
yeah.
songs on there. It's so choice. And then there's like there's so much whip banter going on between everybody. Like it
Oh,
feels
yeah.
like you're, and there's none of the voices from the movie are in this, which I adore that, because I'm like, I was hesitant to even pick up the game. He's like, oh god, is this going to be Guardians with Chris Pratt and with Zoe Saldana? Which, don't get me wrong, I love those movies, I really did.
I'm glad.
But
it
I
wasn't
wanted
part of
something
the MCU.
different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want something different, and they did a fucking fantastic job on that. So
It's
Yeah,
so
that
sad
was
that
it.
that game didn't do so hot.
I
Yeah.
know.
That's
So
really
good.
sad.
yeah. I mean,
It's
I
underrated.
played it, and I'm not the target audience. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, absolutely
Really
not. Dave,
enjoyed
Dave,
it.
I didn't even think about that game either, to be honest with you. So good choice, Jared. Cheers to you.
cheers.
All right, Dave. What's your number 3?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh.
Ooh, that's another good
Because
one.
I
Yes,
really,
please.
I really enjoyed that, and I really enjoyed the story in that game. But you know, the first time through you play it, you're kind of a little confused sometimes about the characters, and
Mm-hmm.
you miss some of the story arcs. And I think I'd get a lot more out of the story this time round. Plus,
Even
know.
terminology.
yeah, and it was just a beautiful game. The world was about the right size, and the characters were interesting. I wasn't as keen on the second one, but the first one was. I really, really enjoyed it, and some of the
Right.
the ideas in it were really good. So
It's
I'd
original.
like to replay that.
Cool.
Yeah,
It's
I
definitely
would like to
original.
play the second one again.
need
Just
to play the second
throw
one in the first
one on
place.
my plate because I kind of mashed through it. I did get the platinum, but I feel like I missed out on some because I was just kind of trying to crush through it.
I didn't
Wait,
enjoy
you-
the second one. I didn't get the I got the platinum in the first one, but the second one just didn't click. It
Yeah.
was all right. The story was all right. The world was just too
Mhm.
big, and there's too
It's
much like,
huge.
bullshit in it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fun. All right. Nick, how about your number 3?
Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
I saw that coming somewhere. I thought it would be from Ian, not from
No,
you.
I've replayed that. I've already replayed that a million times, so it's not on my
Insert
list.
all
Um,
Metal Gear
touche.
Solid games.
So,
Shay.
but with a little bit of an asterisk, because I didn't see this in the rules, because I had tried replaying it,
Oh.
but but I didn't
Oh.
get very far. It's like I maybe put in like 15 minutes into it before.
That doesn't
That's
really
not
count as a
really
play. That's
trying
just
it.
part of the story.
Yeah.
It's just watching the cutscenes.
That was the installation
Yeah.
screen.
Yep.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Watching the egg in the frying pan.
The update to
No,
download.
I
Watching
like
him
no,
smoke a
not
cig.
that. Yeah, when you install the game, you just sit there smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, for
Go
like
on, make
5
a
to 10
sandwich
minutes.
while you're
have
waiting.
it. I have it on my YouTube.
Yeah.
I actually reinstalled that game to play it again too recently. But yeah, I recorded the part where it's just installing, just
Yeah.
that part where he's smoking. It's fucking hilarious.
That's great.
Yeah, taking so long.
Classic.
But no, it was a game like I've mentioned it before. It's like I had no reference to anything Metal Gear or Metal Gear Solid or anything, and it came with my PS3 Fat Boy at the time, and
Yeah.
I just said, "What the hell? I'll give it a shot." And I was very impressed with the game, and kind of felt I should always go back and play it again with a little bit better understanding of the game. But just
Is that the only Metal Gear you've played?
yes,
Oh.
Oh, interesting. What a weird,
Ooh.
what a weird place
It's-
to onboard.
Yeah.
I know, but I mean,
Yeah,
I've
that
got
is tough.
I've
Old
got
Snake.
5 sitting somewhere, like either on Steam or on my PS4.
Do you
or
have a
both.
PS3?
I do.
I have the whole HD collection.
Ooh,
You could borrow.
maybe I should play some of those.
Yeah, I played the first
Maybe.
one on the PS Mini, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
it
not
still holds
super
up.
long.
It's a great game, yeah.
I played with my friends when it first came out back in the day. It was good. I mean, my friend kind of bogarted it, but I was fine with that. So
I played the demo to the first one so many times. I had to buy it. And I played the NES ones. Both of them. Loved it.
Yeah, that's what kind of blew my mind after kind of learning a little bit about the series, is that it was even available on the NES. I'm like, oh shit, how was
Yeah.
I not aware of this?
So the cool thing about that is the HD collection has the original, because the Nintendo versions are kind of garbage, but it has
Remake.
the original.
Mm.
has
No,
the
it's
ori-
Nintendo,
has the,
so.
has the MSX versions, the original.
I've always
versions.
wanted to play the MSX
nice.
versions.
So, if you really want to
Cool.
go back, anyway,
Ah.
cool, good choice. Where are you at on that beer?
I'm right here.
Nice.
Cool.
About
About
2/3 of the way
inch from
down.
Well,
bottom.
then we'll let
Yeah.
you continue on, my friend. Aaron, how about you? What's your number 3?
all right, so my number 3. This is kind of a contested one, but it's a Mass Effect, but it's Andromeda because
Okay.
I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I already played Legendary Edition. Obviously, all 3 of them took forever on that one, but that game got so underrated because people were pissed off because it wasn't Shepard. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, guys. He died.
I
Move
love
on.
Or she died.
She died. Yeah, he or she
that.
died.
Yeah,
Sorry,
come on. What are you talking about?
they died. Both of them died. That's
There you
just,
go.
let's cover
Spoiler.
both
Yeah.
bases on that one.
Yeah.
Now it came out 10 years ago. Let it go. 6 years ago.
Mhm.
But anyway, no. That game was fantastic. The idea of
Well, it's also
The
really
new-
big, I think, is the other reason it got kind of hated on, because it's just like too much. It's like too much to do in that game.
right. I mean, they could have streamlined it a little bit more, kept it a little tight. But I thought it got way more hate than it should have because of
Hmm.
the fact that it wasn't Shepard. I'm like, get the fuck out of here! You knew it was going to happen at the end of the third one.
Yeah, I would have loved to see them carry on years beyond years and
Yeah, and in a different
instead
galaxy
of attaching
entirely.
it to Shepard and all that stuff. I like the just bring it forward. Let's keep going through
But
this
there's still
universe.
some
and-
characters you could have
Yeah.
brought back, like Edie or
I agree.
something.
Yeah.
There's certain characters that you could still be alive or like
Yeah.
in some
Right.
form that kind of like connect.
Yeah.
it
like
just for
a lot of
fans.
Asaris and
Yeah.
the
Oh,
rope,
100%.
the
Well, they
Gek and
the-
things like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
Like, I mean, yeah, and I understand, but there.
It was still a great game.
it's
I
just-
saw a lot of fun.
Oh, Geth, not Gek. That's
yeah.
No Man's
Gek.
Sky.
Yeah, but no, I thought that was a solid game to restart. I actually thought about doing that after I beat the Legendary Edition, but I'm like, then I got Jared, the game from Jared. I'm like, ooh, okay.
Right.
I'm
then-
sorry.
I had just
Next.
beaten that recently, so that's why I had thought about that too going into it right after. But
Mhm.
I had just recently beat it, so I was like, not recently, but like within the last year or two.
Yeah,
And I was like, I don't really want to fight it again.
Right. But yeah, no, of course, then Dead Space Remaster came out and playing Doki Doki Literature Club and it's all that stuff. So
Dude, busy Aaron playing some games again.
Yeah, baby.
busy boy. Yeah.
All right.
It helps the little one goes down on a decent time. So
There you go.
anyway, that's my number 3.
All right, awesome. My number 3, and this is my most recent game on my list, is and it's old. We're gonna go with Titanfall 2.
Ooh, good one. I love that game too.
Yeah, that story was good. Good
Yeah,
choice.
yeah.
October
I've been
28th.
Nothing but
thinking about
bangers
it,
right
too.
now.
2016. So it's like 10 years. No, 8 years. Yeah.
8 years, yeah.
Yeah, man. Didn't ever play the first one, and plus it was only on Xbox at the time. And then the second one, man, it came out and that like perfect. Like you talk about like Call of Duty at its best. I mean, there's been Call of Duty has not put together a campaign that good
Yeah.
since I don't know when. Like sometime
Very
in, like,
few games have.
Probably Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah,
That was
probably.
a solid
Probably
campaign.
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
And it's the same team technically. And then they got rid of them. So hey,
Yeah,
there you go.
dang.
I
Of course they
wonder.
did.
Make a great game, get fired.
Yeah.
But
Make a shitty game, keep going forever.
unfortunately, this game was sandwiched in between the launch of a Call of Duty and a Battlefield, and this game kind of got forgotten. Yet, oddly, most of
yeah.
us played it. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway,
Played it, beat it. It was great.
it's great. And I played a lot of multiplayer, but I've always kind of wanted to go back and replay that. I've
Yeah.
actually rewatched scenes from it because they're so cool. Like it has a really good story, really. So anyway, that's my
Man,
number
the
3.
flow in that game is so good as
That's
well.
good.
Yeah.
Fun to
I
fight.
love the
Yeah.
ideas too. Like you could fight by yourself, or if you absolutely need to, and call your Titan and just demolish the field. It was great.
Like mech games are so hard to do. I think like they
Yes.
never really connect, and like somehow this one just works, and it's partially because you're not always in
Mhm.
it, and you're
Mhm.
doing other first-person shooting.
And you
things.
have some mobility. I mean,
Right.
Like I guess Mech Warriors, like the really slow ones.
but you still feel like you're
Stompy,
lethargic. You know,
stompy.
there's
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
definitely
they're not
have-
like
right.
super jumping around quick, but yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Yeah, still good. It was a good balance. Good
it was
for-
fantastic, is what it was. It just got shot in the foot because of freaking Call of Duty.
but all right,
God.
that's my number 3. Looks like Nick just poured the new beer. The next one.
Yeah.
It looked tasty, by the way.
How's that one?
About to try it
I
out
mean-
now.
What style is this
Did
beer
you rinse
again?
out your mouth with some water?
I did. So
Alcoholic flavored water.
Yeah, hop
It just
flavored
says-
water. Yeah.
fresh
There we go.
hop, IPA. I mean, it doesn't say
Sounds like the
anything
Star
about
Trek one.
hazy, but I
It's a
mean,
little hazy.
Does
That's
not
the
look hazy to
standard
me.
IPA. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
thick.
It's
Not as
Celebration
thick as the other one.
Fresh hop IPA. It's
What are the
nice.
ABVs on both of them?
But fresh hop is going to
So-
have more sediment, of course, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they're pouring straight through that.
Pretty much.
that is a good question.
Oh, yeah.
They're
It's hard to
out-
find
so-
on cans. It's not uniform.
Yeah, it's 6.5 for the first hazy, and
I should put liquor.
for this one, we're looking at 6.6.
All right,
Okay.
there you go.
Not too bad.
So they're neck and neck, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of strength.
Cool. Jared, what's your number 2? Let's get back to the list.
Okay. So this one is a little bit older, but I absolutely need to replay The Witcher 3 because I skipped
Oh.
most of the good stuff.
Interesting.
I didn't
Alright,
do
everyone
many
is
side
wanting to play
quests
it
because I was
forever.
just trying to beat the game.
Interesting.
And I know that I absolutely missed out, and I want to feed on that. I really do. Plus, there's the DLC. I own like the Legacy or Legend, whatever edition that comes with the DLC. So I don't have a reason to not play it. I just have too much other stuff I'm playing. But I would absolutely love to go back to The Witcher 3, even though I wasn't a huge fan of like the controls and the battle system and stuff like that. But everything else about the world. Oh,
we
did my
lost-
microphone?
It did cut
Yeah.
out for a second.
Get out. Yeah.
Yeah, I keep hearing it crunching and click and stuff like that. It's like power. I
You
don't
sound
know.
like part robot for a second there.
Yeah, weird. But yeah, I totally want to play Witcher 3 again.
Cool.
Yeah, I actually
Good
wouldn't
one.
mind playing it. I've never actually played that game.
Do too. I want to play it as
I've
well.
heard very good things. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
I don't
have a
know,
copy.
Dave. You're not a huge
You're not
fan
a
of
big
that
fantasy.
genre,
Yeah,
so
you're not a big fantasy guy.
yeah, so I wouldn't waste your time.
Don't fucking do it, Dave.
I might have a disc of it. I might have a disc
have a
of
disc
it.
Let
of
him
it.
try it. If he wants
you
to
can
try it, he
absolutely
can
borrow
try
it
it.
from one of us if you want.
If he
Play
hates
a-
it, he'll
Play a demo
tell you.
of it and tell us about it next week.
I don't think they have
Hey.
a demo. I don't think there's
Yeah,
a
I
demo.
can
not
demo one
anymore.
of our discs.
you
Opening
go.
chapter.
Why not?
Witcher 3,
Yeah.
awesome. No, I love that game. That's a great game. I don't know if I'd ever. I played a lot of it though, so
Yeah, I know, you
don't-
did.
I don't think I'd go back. I did all the endings, so I'm pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I got a pretty garbage ending or something like that. Like, you know, I
It's always
didn't
shitty.
know any of the people I was talking to at the end, or like there's the end that's happening, and there's parts I know were supposed to happen, but I didn't have those people.
The great thing about that game is there's a moment where she's talking to Ciri's talking to Geralt, and she's talking about how when she was away, she was in this one area, this city, and it's basically like she went to cyberpunk. Basically, is what they're kind of keying in there.
Huh?
That she was in that world for a moment.
Interesting.
It's kind of wild. So when you listen to that dream, it's kind of funny. Anyway, Dave, what's your number 2?
my number 2 is South Park: Stick of Truth.
Ooh.
Okay.
I would like.
I
I
never thought that one.
I thought about replaying it recently. Actually, I think I even downloaded it and didn't get round to it for some reason. But not because the game itself is like the gameplay is like the most amazing thing, but the writing is just funny and the story
On point, yeah.
And you just really wanted to
It's just-
dodge some dangly
that's
balls.
Yeah, some of
testicles,
those
yeah.
some of those set pieces in the anus are
Yeah.
that's
Just
Yeah.
chef's kiss.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I can't believe they went there, and then not only did
I
they
just
go
can't-
there, they
Nick,
they
did
go
you ever play the game?
way past the.
What's that? Stick of Truth? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I started to for a bit. I had it on Steam.
Oh, okay.
I still have it, and I started playing. I mean, it
didn't
was
think
kind of
about
fun.
that one either. God, you guys are naming so many games I didn't think
Yeah.
about.
You need to stick with it. I mean, it just gets wild.
And
I mean,
fucking
kind
Canada,
of like
the fucking Canada level, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like wild in the South Park sort of fashion that I would
It's 8-bit.
kind of come to expect, or
It's just great.
Oh yeah.
It's
It's
awesome.
it-
gross and
basically-
dirty. It's very dirty.
there's
It's an
just so
expanded,
many like
it's expanded
great
South
games.
Park, essentially, is what that is. It's like a,
I just-
it's like a season
yeah.
with South Park in its own season.
You know,
I'd
it's-
totally forgotten about Canada as well.
It's that Canada mission is so great. Like,
Oh yeah,
your
the
guy-
dire
'cause
wolf.
you,
This
'cause,
is
like,
Fives, but dire.
I think it was just you, Dave, and Aaron, right, that played the sequel.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't play it.
Fraction
I didn't
of
play it,
all.
and you guys weren't super high on it, so I decided not to
was-
ever touch it. And
It was
It wasn't terrible.
I know it wasn't
actually
terrible,
pretty
but
good.
it was. You guys weren't
it was
glowing
pretty
about
good,
it
but
like the
yeah.
first one.
no. It wasn't the same. Like I mean,
Yeah.
the dialogue was still there, but the ending was like, "What is this?" Okay,
I don't remember anything about the battle system. I just remember listening to
Turn-based.
podcasts and they were talking about
Oh,
the
the
battle
new one?
system changes and how that worked.
yeah,
and I was like,
it's
I don't
complete
know."
change.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I
'Cause
don't
it goes
remember
in-
any of that.
Well, the first one is turn-based, like Final
Uh-huh.
Fantasy,
Yeah.
Legend of Gaia, Legend of Dragoon, any turn-based, but then it changes like a chess piece type thing that goes on. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Why did you guys
Like
do
XCOM?
this? Kind of, but it's,
No, not that heavy. More
no.
Huh.
Oh well.
It's like a chessboard almost type thing. Where you go here and then they fight and no. It's
Huh. Interesting.
it's weird. It's
It's not
different.
bad. It's just
More
like,
strategy.
why did you change it? Because it was pretty
Mhm.
good the first time round.
Hmm.
You could have kept the same battle system and just did new characters, which
It's a good choice, Dave. You have anything else you want to say about it?
Oh man, it's such a good game. Good game. I
Yeah,
mean,
we
Mhm.
loved it.
I think the problem
I
with
really-
that game is that there was just once you were done with it, you were done with it. Like unless you wanted to
done.
play it, there was like nothing else to
Yeah.
do in the game.
I think it's like, if you'd watched the movie, and there's plenty more movies out there And you really, even though you really enjoyed the movie, you just don't want to watch it again straight
Right,
away.
right.
It's kind of like, but now enough time has passed. It's like, oh yeah, that would be kind of fun to play again.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny moments in that game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now we'll come back to Nick. Nick, what you got for your number 2?
Mr. Hanky.
No. So I'm gonna go with Borderlands 2.
Ooh,
You've never
I thought
replayed
about
that?
one too.
No, I haven't because I
Holy
beat it
shit.
once, and that was just
I think it's
Well-
huge too.
well. Part of it was I was doing like a playthrough of both Borderlands 2 and 3, kind of
Yeah.
like going back and
Right.
forth.
That's right.
Back to
Yeah.
back, yeah.
And it just, I mean, the Borderlands fatigue just kind of like really set in, and
Yeah.
100%.
But
I blew
I
the
would like to
wheels
go-
off of Borderlands 1 and 2, man. Like that car is fucking rotting in a forest somewhere. Like,
Oh.
I got the platinum in Borderlands 2. I don't remember if I did in the first one.
I mean,
think
Wait,
might.
wait.
I never got
How? You beat
A lot of
Terramorphous?
hours.
go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
Yep. Can't believe it.
Well, for starters, I need to like even go back into the first Borderlands and start playing some of the DLC because I've never done that, even though I have them.
Mhm.
Mm.
But no, it's just like I beat Borderlands 2 and that was it. I mean, so originally when I first started playing Borderlands 2, I was playing Borderlands 2 on the PS4 because I have the Handsome Collection
Mm-hmm.
on there,
okay.
and then I have the actual Borderlands 2 disc that I was playing on PS3, so I was playing as a different character, and that's kind of when I want to go back and play
Dude,
as a
such
different
good game.
character, because one thing I've noticed, like when I played 1, 2, and 3, I always somehow just magically picked like very similar characters, so it's in a way I need to kind of like step out of that a little bit and maybe play as somebody else.
There's such
Of course,
good
off the top of my
stories.
head, I can't think of a different character other than Axton that gets to throw turrets around. But I would just like to go back and just play as a different character and just kind of experience, the Borderlands 2 story with somebody else.
I would
say-
recommend either
Oh.
Zero or Lilith.
I would say not worry about Borderlands 1 DLC. I never found it that great. No better. Like, it didn't really... I don't know. I have it. It was fine. It was something to do because we're playing it, but it's like I didn't find it that great. I think the best Borderlands DLC is the Tiny Tina stuff from Borderlands 2. I think that's
Right.
pretty much hands
Which
down.
it
And even the other
That one was very
DLC,
fun.
even though the other DLC for Borderlands 2 isn't that great, except for that one, in my opinion. Their DLCs have always been kind of hit or miss, I think.
A lot of fetch
So-
quest stuff.
Yeah, I hate fetch quests.
But- So
Is that game?
one thing that came out for Borderlands 2 that I made sure to get for Steam and I think the PS4, there was that DLC that came out for Borderlands 2 like just before Borderlands 3. I think it was Fight for Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever end up playing that at all?
I
Oh,
played
yeah.
that a couple times, yeah. I played that
In
once by
fact,
myself, and then I ran through it with our friend
Me.
Matt. What, did I play with you?
Yeah.
Maybe I
Pretty
played it
sure we
3
played
times.
together.
It was
Yeah.
pretty short, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think I even played that yet. I
That's
think
like
I
a-
may have started it.
That's
but
really quick, though, I think.
Yeah, it was free.
It was free and super fast.
Yeah,
Like, a
it-
couple hours or something, I don't know.
I think,
Yeah.
like an hour and a half, yeah. Wasn't too big.
Cool.
But yeah, I was impressed with Borderlands 2. So just a game that I probably want to go back and
It's always a
Redo.
good time. It's always a good game.
Well, I'm sure next year we'll get that news about Borderlands 4. So,
yeah.
or maybe even at the video game awards show.
Game of the
Video,
year.
yeah, the VGAs. Maybe we'll get a Borderlands 4 trailer or something like that. We've gotten a teaser, just the logo and stuff, but yeah.
They gotta, save the franchise after that fucking dog shit of a movie.
Yeah.
Which is sad. It's like you can have all these Dynasty games, but then one movie can fuck up the entire thing.
I guess it didn't fuck up their game stuff. I guess it helped sell quite a few games. So
Well, of
But-
course it helped because they put all the games on like crazy
well,
discounts.
that's true.
Yeah.
Dumb. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the
duh.
movie is awful,
And they are
but
known
it's
to
not.
be good games.
It's
yeah.
kind of an interesting watch, but it's so fucking like of the '90s, like kind of formula of those type of movies. But
yeah.
anyway,
It's got to be better than Doom.
I don't know.
Oh God.
It's on par probably. I mean, Doom's great with that first person view at the end. That's.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
yeah. Ages as
When I
good as
tickle
moldy
balls.
cheese.
All right, Aaron. What's your number 2?
All right. Man, you guys are naming some really good number 2s, and I never thought of them. But no,
You just
my
got a
number
stinky
2.
one.
No, actually, I think it's really solid. I was gonna
I
go
hope
with
so.
Final Fantasy 14 actually
Oh.
for the PS. Yeah, I know it keeps going. They have all these add-ons. You never really beat it, but I feel like it was such a good game for what it was because it's like the first MMO I ever played with anybody really, and just I had fun with it even by myself when I was in the solo missions, and then it was just nice to play with people. And I definitely could go back and go through it as a different classes and do that because I think when I played one and stuck with it, I want to try a completely different I'm always DPS in any games like that. I always want to I want to try something completely different, like
Right.
what Nick wants to do.
Right.
But I thought it was
So the free trial for Final Fantasy 14 allows players to play up to level 70 for free.
Oh wow.
wow.
Let's see.
Is it time?
that's a long.
Sensitive.
But you're limited to the content from A Realm Reborn, Heavensward, and Stormblood.
That's fine.
Wow.
But is it a time
That's a lot
sensitive
of-
thing? It's just like a full on.
It doesn't seem. You can't use the shout, yell, or tell in game options. There's like restrictions, but yeah, apparently you can do like the first chapter and the next 2 DLCs.
I didn't even
so
think about
I would
that.
love to go in that.
Yeah, see, Aaron, that's like I always have thought about like that. Like, how cool would it be to like go back to that game now and start brand new from the very bottom and just see how different it is and try out some of that newer content? Like, I've always, but like
Right.
that sounds like a monumental task, also.
Yes, that's kind of the other thought about it too. But
But
it was
it-
such a fun game.
It was. I had a lot of fun when we all played it together. It was great.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because I mean, I love playing those type of things. But okay, I'm generally a solo player for the most part. Like certain things I'll play with you guys, like Diablo, your Rocket League, Broforce. But that one was different because you could not only just play with just your people, but the PS community was so freaking nice. And that was nice because I hate Xbox community. They fucking suck. They're
Yeah, you hear
mean.
that, Jared?
hmm
Sorry, Jared. You're the exception.
Yeah.
You're the exception,
I
not
think
the
they're,
rule.
Yeah.
I
Jared,
think
you're one of the good ones.
I'm gonna say it's the first-person shooter community, and not so much. I'll
True.
I'll say, I'll or just say
Is
Call
that-
of Duty. You hear
Yeah,
me, Ryan? You
That's
hear that,
true.
Ryan?
Did
Yeah,
Your
you're right.
community sucks.
They're just so. Well, even in even in the first-person shooter PlayStation community has its dicks once in a while, but they're all nice people. Like I remember playing so many times with other people in like the first-person shooter community in that realm. I'm like, this is what it's like to actually not be called noob every 5 seconds. This is nice. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
they-
I played.
Counter-Strike in the early 2000s, they were just a bunch of angels.
Oh, I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
All
They were
FPS
the time that we
communities are
jumped back into
such
that
welcoming
during
groups of
COVID.
people.
Dave and
Yeah,
I,
Oh,
Jared
yeah.
was
they're
with
the
us.
best.
That was
yeah.
just a fucking toxic shithole of a game.
Mhm.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it was
I
like,
forgot
wow.
about the. I never
Wow.
played the Counter Strike, but I knew one person who played that game, and I'm like, how are you still like mentally sane after playing with people in that game?
Yeah, it just anytime I've thought, oh, I want to play this multiplayer shooter online, I always mute everything. I don't want to hear anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm just like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Nope.
I get that one entirely.
It's all off.
All right. Well,
Number
thank you, Aaron.
dos
That's
is
a cool choice.
Okay.
Inspired.
Totally.
My number 2, developed by Platinum Games, published by Konami. It's also a Metal Gear game.
Huh.
Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I
never played
would
that.
love to go back to
I
the
didn't play that game
Raiden
in
arcade slicer dicer. It's a very cool action third-person game where you, instead of stealth, it's all action and slicey, and you have this slicey mechanic where you attack, and then you can kind of cut them into multiple pieces. It's fucking wild.
It's Fruit Ninja with
Basically,
Didn't that
with-
get remastered for PS4 or something?
No,
yeah. It's Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I thought.
I don't think it got remastered.
Oh,
Let me see. No,
No?
I was
it's
gonna
on
s-
PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Windows OS
Maybe that's
10.
what it was. Okay.
It's on
Okay.
Mac. Wow, and NVIDIA
Wow.
Shield TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an action adventure hack and slash.
Emphasis on hack and slash.
I actually have it installed on my PlayStation 3. I
Nice.
reinstalled it recently. It's one of those like I go through these moments where it's like I really want to replay this, but I never have time. And I think that installing it will get me to do it. It does not usually, but I would really like to go back and play this game. I've played the Metal Gear games multiple times, and this one I feel like deserves a replay. Also, oddly enough, listening to the Get Played podcast because they talked about it recently, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. The term "Make America Great Again" is actually from this game
Huh.
years
Oh,
before the Trump thing. It's actually, and there's this like senator in the game that uses it, which is wild. So
Funny.
again, it has that kind of Kojima weirdness, foreshadowing weirdness.
Thanks a lot, Kojima.
You know that his games kind of permeate throughout. You know, it's kind of wild.
Interesting.
So I want to go back through it and just kind of check it out again. So I loved it the first time. I like Raiden as a character. I was one of those people that liked, in Metal Gear Solid 2 when it does the bait and switch.
Yeah, I didn't mind.
I thought that
didn't
was
mind
cool.
it.
It's like, why not? I don't care.
Don't spoil it.
Shit. Yeah. That one. Let's not spoil
You
that
spoiled
one.
it for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because you haven't played it.
It's okay. Neither have I, but I'll probably forget anyway.
Anyway, so yeah, so that's one of the games I want to go back for sure. It's number 2 on my list. Yay!
More Metal
Woo.
Gear.
Cool. All right. Are you finished with that delicious beer, Nick DeWin? Beerstro? Oh, you still
Nope,
you still enjoying it? All right, then we'll carry
Working
on
it.
to our rounds of number ones. Jared, what do you have for us?
I'm gonna be boring here. I thought
Boring?
of trying something else, but I've
Walking
already been
simulator.
playing all these games anyways.
Mhm.
But I really want to replay Final Fantasy IX because
Ooh.
I count it as one of my favorite, but I don't remember shit about it.
That's a good
I
choice.
really
I
don't.
hate
No,
when that,
that makes
happens in a
sense.
game.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I don't remember a damn thing about the story in Final Fantasy IX. I just remember being blown away and loving the game like big time.
So
I find
wanna-
that as I get older, it's like I play things and I'm like, I remember really enjoying it. I just don't remember anything about it.
yeah,
I feel like that's especially synonymous with Final Fantasy series, just because you can play 7, 8, 9 up to now, and you're like, what was that one? Oh, I remember that. Sorry, no, that was 13. Oh, no, that was 12. What the fuck? What game am I thinking? Oh, is that right? No, it's 2. God damn it!
yeah. I'm getting
Well,
like all those PlayStation 1 games. I'm getting like characters crossed. Like, oh, what game was that one in? Like
Well, that's
now
the
I'm just
problem.
like, oh shit, I need to replay this really bad.
Well, that's
And
it.
there's
fair enough.
rumors of a Final Fantasy IX remake, but that's not going to come out for a decade. You know,
Well,
like
this-
they're still working on 7 remake part 3.
Which I'm excited for that.
Yes.
But didn't that? So that was kind of more like it played a lot of it brought back a lot of characters from the first one, except right? Am I?
No, I mean,
I never-
kind of.
I mean, like,
it
I
had
remember
Vivi in there,
seeing-
so I had like the Black Mage, but they kind
Yeah,
of
it had the
fleshed
Black Mage
out
in
the
it, like-
roles into characters.
Yeah, like the Black Mage was actually like a
Yeah.
little child.
The warrior but
Yeah.
it still had its unique characters. Like Stein Stein. I don't remember his name.
Steiner.
He's like the dude in the armor. There's the kid with the like monkey tail. The main character, whatever the crap his name was. The girl. Like,
So
I don't
memorable.
even remember these kids. These things' names. There's that really weird looking thing, Quistis or something like that. I think that was in there. Yeah, like I absolutely need to replay Final Fantasy IX because it's all such a faded dream at this point. And I
Right.
remember some of the cutscenes and the whole thing behind Vivi, the Black Mage, and all the other like Black Mage dudes and the weird crap that he was going through. So I was really emotional through those parts, and
I mean,
I just really want to experience that again.
if it's one of your favorite games, obviously you should be playing it again because, like,
I should be.
If I look at my favorite games, I've played them. I've played Metal Gear Solid 2 millions of times. Skyrim, I put thousands of hours into. You know, it's
Oh
like,
yeah,
come on, Jared, get on it.
I
Is it
know.
really
I
a favorite
absolutely need to. Once upon a time, I remembered it being one of my favorite Final Fantasies, and I want to see why.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, it came out in what, the late '90s? No, it came out
No,
in
it was
early
2000.
2000s, 2003 or something like that.
Is this on
Yeah,
PS2?
sounds right.
2000.
Or
No, it was on
PS1.
No, it's
PS1.
PS1.
This one.
Oh,
No, it came out
Yeah.
in 2000.
Yeah, but
Wait.
like Final Fantasy 7 came out in like 98, 97,
Yeah.
something like that. So it had a couple years before the 9 came out.
I'm so confused on the timeline of the releases of the Final Fantasy series. I remember 2001 was, I thought, when Final Fantasy X came out.
Yeah, games
Probably.
came out much faster back in the day.
That's so confusing.
Yeah.
kind of.
Tell
Not
us.
all games. That's not 100% true. I mean, it
True.
depends. Like in the SD land, but there's some PS3 generation games that took a long time.
I just added it to my Steam wish
There
list.
you go. All right, Dave.
right.
What do you got for your number one?
My number one is a game I really, really enjoyed, and I know all you guys did as well. Death Stranding.
Oh,
Oh, okay,
Yes.
Is I
Totally.
would love to go
I still need
back
to
and
play it.
replay that just because of the weirdness of the story. I think I'd get more out of the story this time. The other reason to go back and play it, though, obviously, is all the like world co-optionals and like people building bridges and the whole kind of like weird social aspect it's got to it. That it was really cool because it would probably be quite a different game, you know, because there'd be roads to places that weren't there when I last played it, or you know, bridges across chasms and that kind of stuff.
the other thing is like, I bought the director's cut upgrade thing. So like, for PS5, I have the PS5 version, whatever. There's so much new content that I would
Oh.
also be like,
Well, there was also recent news just a couple days ago. It just shadow
Oh,
dropped on
Xbox.
Xbox
Yeah.
because the PlayStation exclusivity
Yeah, it was like
expired.
5 years out, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, so now that's Kojima property. Like they don't have any of those restrictions anymore.
But yeah, I mean, that's a game I think I would love to go back to, but on multiple levels. Just
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to play the director's cut as well, just for the extra content. But even without the director's cut, just how the world would be different with the roads in different places and like rebuilding the world and what was useful and what was not. And it's
good choice. I would definitely like to replay that again, and like maybe just take a bit more time this time and not really. I kind of just got sucked in and played through it, but I think knowing what it is like now, I'd probably spend more time in that. That's a world I'd probably just spend
Yeah.
a lot of time in.
I'd probably spend more time
Right.
building,
Mhm.
collecting like materials and like building stuff, and because I only kind of discovered that aspect of the game probably halfway through, or not discovered it, but really got into that aspect like halfway through the game, you know. At first,
Like the whole
you're just so
beginning, you're trying to
focused,
you're trying to figure out what the game is. Like, this is
Yeah.
what am I doing? What?
You mean I've just got a balance? That's the game,
Mm.
and then it's like, oh, and it kind of gets really interesting and cool.
Why am I carrying a woman in a bag?
Yeah, it's so
It's
bizarre.
tiny. It's a tiny woman in a bag.
It's just a funny It's like great. It's so quirky
care.
and weird and unique.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's
And
so
a little
many
creepy too. I mean, I got a little creepy. out.
But
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure there's like a bunch of like Easter eggs I still haven't found. You know, I never actually found Conan. You know, I know he's in the game, but I never got the
Yeah,
Conan
he's a-
shit.
Oh, I
Did you
found
find
it.
Jeff
Barbarian
Keighley?
or
I just never
a
bothered.
barbarian or O'Brien?
O'Brien.
O'Brien.
Oh yeah, I found
Yeah,
Conan
he's a
O'Brien.
voice
He's
in
got the beaver hat, isn't
Yeah.
it, in that game?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
Oh,
Otter.
he's supposed to have
He's
a,
Otter
it's supposed to
hat.
be a pompadour,
Otter hat,
right?
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
So when
So I
you
think it's
wear
supposed to
it,
be a pompadour,
when you
I
wear
thought.
it and you're in the water, like you can maneuver better. Supposedly, is what the buff is on
No,
that hat.
I never actually
Funny.
wore the hat, so
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, there's like a bunch of crazy shit in that game. That you know, it's like
Yeah,
a Metal
and-
Gear Solid game. You know, it's like there's crazy shit in it, and that's what is cool about those games because when you replay them, you learn new shit. You know, that's what's
and then you're always like, is that such and such? And then you look, and it's like, oh yeah, it is actually that guy doing a cameo in the game. It's kind of weird in that respect.
Right.
no, good choice. All right, Nick, what's your number one?
So I'm gonna go with the first Red Dead Redemption.
That was a runner-up on my list.
That actually, Matt, that was
Um,
one I thought about as well.
And
never
I
thought
only
about it.
say that
Didn't care.
because,
To piss off Ian. No, just
no,
He's so enraged.
so like I originally thought about doing like Red Dead Redemption
I can't
2 just
I get
because you can do like a different playthrough as an evil character, which I was kind of alluding to earlier. Like you can kind of like replay as, but I think since 2 kind of left such an impact on me, and 1, it's like I played it, I beat it, and I liked it, but it kind of came at a point where I was like still kind of stuck on Fallout 3, so it didn't like kind of like have a full grasp on me. I'd kind of
Right.
like to go, and now that I've also, and since I played 2 and 2 kind of just grabbed me so much more, just to kind of go back and play the first one and just kind of experience it again, but this time with like a full attention span. And now that I know like a lot of the backstory of the characters too, and since 2 is a prequel to the first one, just kind of seeing the story with like maybe a different set of eyes, and just
Yeah,
just kind of
absolutely.
replay it and from a different perspective, and just kind of like, oh, okay, I see what they were kind of alluding to before, and I didn't notice it the first go around, and so on
Well,
and so forth.
and the
And-
musical cues, like certain parts of the story happen, and there's musical cues that's like hit, and the song is going as you're traveling to these different destinations. I wanna revisit that and see how it hits, and
Yeah.
some good memories in that title. I
And
spent
not
a
to
lot of
mention,
time in Red Dead.
And plus, I want to go back to Mexico. I never got to do that in 2, or I tried
Oh.
to, and I died.
Oh,
Or drowned.
yeah.
Yeah, number one
Wow.
actually holds up pretty well. I played it during the pandemic. I'd never played it before, and I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, good.
So
I think I like pop back on just for like a few minutes, just to kind of like see where I was, see if I remembered stuff. And I think all I ended up doing was like finding a game of blackjack to play, and that was about it. And it was just okay.
Funny.
nice.
It's like,
Yeah,
oh, we can
good,
still
good
do
call.
this.
Yeah.
And good choice. I mean, I liked the first Red Dead fine. I don't hate that game. Are you done with your beer? You're moving on.
I am.
So you should.
I'm here starting a war.
No, not really.
War
no.
with your intestines.
No, he's
Well.
trying to piss me off by pouring a Bitburger inside a Stella glass.
No, no. It wasn't to piss Ian off. I'm thinking more like a war in Europe.
I know. I mean, I gave you that chalice to drink Stella.
No, I
not
know.
Bitburger. Like,
Uh-oh.
I find it offensive.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it broke his brain a little bit there.
Well, I
he
don't
looks
drink
very
Stella.
concerned
Yeah.
about that.
So what are the other 2 beers? If we can, since we're on you, we can like let's get this beer battle done. Who won?
I'm going with the Star Wars one.
Yeah, baby.
Oh.
So
Yes.
just to give a little, I mean, we talked about the ABV, but we didn't talk about the IBUs.
Bitter and bitter.
Well, this one 57. This one is this one's only a 47.
Not bad.
The hazy,
Yeah, the hazy.
but yeah,
Mellows it out with
This
all
one.
the fruit.
yeah, I guess so. I mean,
Maybe.
this
Yeah,
one
whatever.
only had 3. You had Citra, Mosaic, and Strata hops. This one, Centennial, Chinook, Cryo Pop, Eldorado,
the
Strata,
hops.
Tall. I don't know.
You should crash
I
the
just,
cans
like-
together in a battle, like see which one survives. In front of the camera.
Yeah, and you know who doesn't survive is all my electronics.
No, that's true. Oh, you're supposed to drink all the beer out of it.
Empty cans, huh?
I know, but still, there's still going to be some shrapnel drops flying
All
somewhere.
right, all right. Thank you, Lord Bistro, for that.
hmm Yes.
Aaron, what's your number one?
Oh god, this one was a toughie. But I think the clear cut has to be. Oh god, it's the one with.
It doesn't
man,
sound
I'm
clear
drawing-
cut.
No. I'm drawing a blank on the name. It's with 2B.
Oh, Near Automata.
Thank you. Near Automata is the
That's
number
a good
one.
choice too.
That
Yeah,
one
that'd be a
was
fun
so
to play through
good.
again. Yeah.
I think though I'd go back through it not just because it was a fun
Was it
game.
sexy?
It swap that too. The
You'd
story
be
was
thinking
fantastic.
of Ian. You'd be thinking of Ian the whole time. Just be like, oh,
Hey, you could dress up and sit next to you while you play.
yeah,
Oh,
That would cost extra.
yeah.
no, man.
No,
You
but
still
if
have
you
that
were-
costume laying around, Ian?
That's his money
Yeah, I
making
still have the
outfit.
costume.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can fit in it. It was a little thinner then.
Well, I
Yeah.
think the reason why I go through it is not just because of how good it is. In fact, I think I rushed through it just because I was trying to beat Scott.
Oh,
I
that's
remember we
true.
were
I
little.
remember that.
Yeah,
I just narrowly beat the game before he did too. I
Oh,
was at
yeah,
the last.
that's right.
And I wanted to really take my time in it because it was a fantastic game. It was beautiful. The combat was great. The story was good. Like, I
The
couldn't
music
fully-
was amazing.
Mhm.
Oh my god, yeah. And I like the fact it changed gameplay and type of game all the way through it. That was that was refreshing. Infuriating at times, but nice. But I feel like I could definitely get back into that game and actually fully enjoy it this time. I'm not in competition.
That's
I
a.
don't know why I
that was
was.
that's definitely an honorable mention on my list.
Yeah, I mean, there was so many different honorable mentions that were mentioned earlier on in this podcast, but that one definitely was like, okay, I could definitely get back into playing Near Automata. And they came out with a sequel too, but
No, that was
Eh.
a remake of the
oh,
of the first game.
that was? Oh, I
Yeah,
thought it was a
Nier
sequel. Okay.
Replicant was a remake of the original Nier game for PS3, Xbox 360.
Okay. Okay.
Like,
now I get
totally
my head
redone.
straight.
I do want to play it. Yeah.
I
Okay,
have
but
the
yeah.
OG version on PS3. It's a beast of
I
a
played
game.
a little bit of it on the Xbox
It's a
when,
weird
once
game.
upon a time. Yeah.
It's similar to. It's just not as. I would like to play the remaster though. See how much they fixed it.
And,
cleaned
and
it
you're a
up.
dude, right?
Yeah, you're a dude, but you have.
You're a dude.
It's a yeah, you're a dude. I mean, there's a sexy chick that's your partner that's in the game.
that's
but,
okay because Ian can sit in his costume and
Oh, there you go.
Well, technically, in your Automata, most of the time you're the girl to be, but sometimes you play as the boy, if I remember right.
Yeah, two.
blindfolded.
Yeah, what is his name? I forget.
I think
his
it's
name.
2A.
2A, and then you have 1A, the other girl.
Or 1A, maybe one. Oh, yeah.
the
Such
right.
cool names.
But that game takes place like super far in the future, whereas Nier takes place the world's like falling apart and dying and it's weird. Anyway.
Depressing sounding.
Good choice, Aaron.
Mhm.
Great picks. Great list.
I
My number one.
Ian, what's your number one?
My number one is a game by Obsidian Entertainment.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Came out in 2010. Published by Sega. It's an action role-playing game. Any guesses? Any takers?
I'm
Ian
gonna
Sexy
say-
Well,
Time.
until you said Sega, I was going to say Fallout New Vegas. But
PlayStation 3,
I
Windows, and
would
Xbox 360.
Oh God, is it the God,
Like a
I'm trying to think.
Bayonetta game or something? No, Bayonetta wasn't
No.
Obsidian.
Obsidian.
Entertainment,
Bayonetta.
so it's an action role-playing game. Like, you're
Oh,
thinking Fallout New Vegas. It's not Fallout New Vegas, though.
I know.
Is it?
I know the Outer
Middle
World
Earth?
isn't that
Shadows
old.
of War.
No.
Mhm.
No, that's Shadows of War. That's someone else.
So it's a little, it's a spy role-playing game called Alpha Protocol,
Oh,
the
I never thought-
espionage RPG.
huh.
I played through this a long time ago, like towards the end of the PS3's life. I got it like on sale. It was supposed to be this big deal, but it ended up kind of bombing. But it has a cult
Oh.
following, and it's just a super crazy cool, like, a lot of action RPGs are fantastical or something, and this one had like just different choices, and you're a spy and you're infiltrating, and there is some stealth in the game, and then there's all these choices. And I played through one way, but there are like a bunch of different story outcomes that I never really explored or got back into, and it's always a game that I've just always wanted to replay because I really liked it. I don't understand why it had not the greatest reviews because I thought it was a pretty well put together game. But yeah, Alpha Protocol. I played on
That's a
PS3.
good- I think I played the demo. It's nice. I liked it.
I like that kind of spy shit. I mean, at the play dude, but it's a pretty good dude, so I had fun with it. That's my number one.
Oh man,
We did it.
good choice.
Nice.
Games that we would. What is the likelihood of you guys playing any of these?
Mm,
I'm sure someday I'll get to Final Fantasy IX. But I don't know about the others. I still own The Witcher 3 and Guardians of the Galaxy.
same. Well,
Yeah,
Guardians,
I
but
had
not so much
I had
Witcher.
I had Stick of Truth installed for a while and started it again and didn't finish it. So I don't know.
Well, a PS3 update from a year or two ago has kind of made it harder for me to get onto my PS3, but
Oh, what happened?
they instituted some sort of form of, I think, two-factor.
Oh, two-factor.
authentication.
You're not savvy with that, huh?
I'm barely savvy with my own passwords, so
Huh.
or savvy, whatever.
Oh,
I use my thumbprint for most of my passwords nowadays.
I don't feel like
Same.
I have to.
Thumbprint.
I log
Iris
back in to
scan.
deal with that, but I don't have the two-factor to log in any. I don't know.
So we just need to hack Jared's thumb off and we can have all his money.
I
Yeah,
guess.
pretty much.
Like, I don't know. The only thing I even probably come close to replaying is Andromeda because it's on my system. Well, I purchased it a long time ago, but it's still there. I can re-download it and go from there.
I don't know what happened to my copy.
14, I love the idea of 14, replaying it and all that stuff, but I'm just like, redoing all that over again.
MMOs are a lot of work.
They really are.
It's a job.
I have to consider 13 as one of my lists, and
So-
along with
I was reading that if you've connected your PlayStation account to Final Fantasy 14 already, you do not qualify for the free trial.
There you go.
boo.
There you go.
So, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
Once you start a new account,
Yeah, I know. I was like, I unlocked my Dragoon. I want to play with my Dragoon, and I don't want to spend $15 a month or whatever the crap it is to play the game.
Right?
can you play it on PC?
Yeah, I've thought of trying that and just doing like
Hmm.
a Steam account or something like that, but
Hmm.
I'd have to use a different email address.
Oh.
Oh. That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I have both Alpha Protocol and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance are installed on my PlayStation 3, so it is potentially after the Saboteur, one of those might become my backup game. So
Nice.
There you go.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got to beat the games from my list from the other episode of games we hadn't beaten before I start
Yeah.
on ones I have.
No one
Oh,
said you had
yeah.
to do that. That was just a.
Hey,
just
I'm
a
two
list.
out.
I
I'm
know
2
you
out
are.
of 3.
Yeah.
So
He's already
Yeah,
deep
I've-
in, so
I've put some hours into the Evil Within too.
yeah.
I did install Command and Conquer Red Alert. That is on
Okay.
on my PlayStation. I haven't started it yet, but it's also
Making
there.
progress. Oh, I don't even remember what games I put on there.
Does anyone have any honorable mentions for this topic? Because I was thinking Cyberpunk
I have a
is
few.
one just because of the choices, but
Yeah, well, Aaron
Yeah.
mentioned one of mine. Mine was Near Automata, and then my other one was I've already recently played it, but I would really like to go back through and play another playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. I think that game is fucking awesome, and the choice, and I would love to do a
I
completely
kinda wanna
different
play that.
character, and it'd be cool to co-op it with somebody all the way through. That'd be a wild experience. I mean, there's just a lot of choice there. Anyway,
I would definitely go with, but I believe it was Dave who mentioned it. Horizon Zero Dawn as a replay. Final Fantasy 13. Actually, that one's probably the lesser popular one from the PS3 era, but I enjoyed the fuck out of that game first playing it. And it was the first Final Fantasy I beat. You know, it holds a place. It actually made me want to play all three of them. X2 and Lightning Returns Part 3.
I never played any of the sequels.
Oh yeah, I love 13. I think that was like the first female main character, and
Lightning? I liked Lightning.
Lightning.
Yeah, she
I
was-
love Lightning. She was badass, and then she became the Heart of Gold. Her heart got 3 sizes bigger.
Ah. Funny. Yeah, play it for Christmas. Go ahead, Aaron.
But no. Then there was Legend of Dragoon. Of course, I was gonna put that one on my list, but I was like, I didn't want to bore everybody with that one.
I tried playing that through the PlayStation Premium subscription, and
Yeah.
it's really hard to play through PS1 games. They just
Well, that's where they could remaster the thing, but it didn't get enough response, so.
yeah.
Which really sucks, but whatever. There was
I guess I just
And
need to
then-
get over that.
no, you shouldn't have to
you know,
suffer.
PS1 games
just-
are pretty awful.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, you
like-
shouldn't
like-
have to
they're
suffer.
really hard to look at.
Like a lot of the
They are.
3D N64 games is the same thing. They're just
Yeah,
just-
Oh,
I
I
agree.
can't play N64 games. It's hard.
And
to
there's
look at.
Heaven. Then there was the Heaven's Sword, the one with the female version of God of War, which
Heavenly
that
Sword?
game was- yeah, Heavenly Sword.
She's in Astrobot.
Such a good game. That was so good. It got so
I liked it.
jacked.
only got,
loved
like-
it.
I only got like halfway through it.
Oh, I beat
I
it.
beat
I
it.
mean, I don't think you could turn off the 6-axis controls for throwing the boomerang or whatever the crap you
That
threw.
part kind of like if it.
But
That's
was
my only
fun.
complaint.
Yeah.
I don't like the 6-axis thing because the PS5 does it, and I'm like, why do we still have this technology?
Yeah.
It doesn't
I don't
make
know.
sense.
Like it's funny you say that because like when I'm playing Gran Turismo 7 in
Well,
VR,
that would make sense though. I mean,
I use my controller like a steering wheel.
well, that makes sense though
Yeah, I
because
can
it's
see
like
I
a
turn
video
the
game. Like other
gyroscopics
games,
on.
well, that would make sense though because that game is better if you play with the steering wheel. But like a game like you had to control the boomerang, it's gonna come right the fuck back to me. Why the fuck
Yeah.
do I need to like control where it goes?
Yeah.
Like I already know it's gonna go. Just watch it come back. Got it. Good. Move on.
Any more honorable mentions from the other guys?
Yeah. It just got a remake. I'm not sure if it's out yet. I don't think it's out yet. But the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver
Oh,
is
yeah.
one I've always wanted to go back to. 1 and 2, like most of the Legacy of Kain series, like
Did you ever
all
play
that
Blood
stuff.
Omen?
Blood Omen, yeah, the original.
Oh, that was such a good game. I played the sequel on PS2. I enjoyed it.
Defiance, all that stuff. Yeah, I love the Legacy of Kain series, and it will. I don't know, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver remake. I feel that they're not just dipping their toes in to do another one. They're just like, oh, people remember this.
Well, I remember hearing about it. The first I was like, ooh, what's
Yeah.
that?
I know.
Oh, but-
I'm kind of excited
back?
to see how that goes. I
Right.
mean, it's just an upres. It's not a remake or anything like that.
No,
Yeah,
I
Soul
wish it was a
Reaver, yeah.
remake
Ian has a
though. To be
copy.
honest,
Yeah, I
know
loved
why
both
they're not-
of those games. Raziel,
The thing
he was
is-
such a cool character.
I love that you're just
What's it-
talking about these games and Ian just like holds up a copy.
Yeah.
well, the thing that gets me about they're just doing an up-res. I'm like, why don't you guys? You have the technology, just do a remake. And every remake has been getting killer. I mean, Dead Space got really good. Yeah,
it's
true.
just like small teams that they're like, oh, what should they do? Oh, well, let's remake this. It's probably the cheapest form of money that they can earn. It's.
And then it's gauging, and then depending on how many people actually are interested in it, gauging whether they actually bother to do a remaster or a sequel, or if there's actual interest.
That makes sense. Final Fantasy and Dead Space, people wanted that so bad to come back, especially Final Fantasy VII. I will say though, that game is definitely a fan service and rebirth. My God, at some points, like Chapter 7, you go to the beach, like, oh God.
Yeah.
How about you,
Got
Nick?
some sexy outfits on, baby.
Nick, do you
Let's
have
call it the fan service chapter.
Oh yeah, big time.
Nick, do you have any honorable mentions?
Almost an honorable mention until I just thought about it and I just kind of like, nah. But Ocarina of Time was a game that I only played through once, beat it, and
I played through that
several
times.
Same.
I never went back through and played it again. I mean, I think I might have popped in just to like beat Ganon again, but I mean, also it was like my little brothers wanted that too, so it was like they'd use my save file to jump in just to beat beat him, and that's about it. It's like I played through once and I never did it again, and in fact I've never played a Zelda game since.
Well, hitting the glowy ball back and forth is fun.
Yeah.
Right. Basically volleyball with the death spear.
Dave, do you have any? You brought it up, but do you have any honorable mentions?
Those were the ones that came straight up to my head. I did, like I said at the start, it was mainly like more modern games when I was thinking about this, because there was either a story that I would like to play, or it'd be something like Mass Effect, or something where you, like Cyberpunk, where your choices really have an effect on the story and how it ends.
Cyberpunk would be a good runner-up for me. I crashed through that game. Like the CD Projekt Red, I've only played 2 of their games, and both of them I crashed through without doing side quests, and it was a big loss.
Well, Jared, you could get the Phantom Thread DLC, and then you could re-enjoy that game in a whole new, better way, I think. Like, because Phantom Thread that story is so much better, I think, ultimately, than the main story of Cyberpunk, that I think once you get back into Phantom Thread, there's missions that take...
Is it called the Phantom Thread?
Or Phantom Liberty, or whatever.
Liberty. That's right.
Sorry, Phantom Thread's a movie. But there's missions that take you outside of the DLC area, because it's all one area basically, but it has a little gated area. Anyway, so like once you are back into that DLC, you're playing the game and you play those side quests and the better mechanics, and I don't know. I think that DLC is great.
I played the game after that came out.
But the expansion, you didn't play.
But
the
I
expansion.
didn't play the expansion.
That's what I'm saying. The expansion is the best part. So it really makes the game even better.
Isn't that what people say about The Witcher 3?
Supposedly,
That's
but
what everybody says about The Witcher 3.
I kind of got burnt out on Witcher, so I didn't really complete that. But I didn't get sick of Cyberpunk, because that game isn't as long and big as...
Yeah.
Witcher 3 is massive.
It takes a while to get going, but it's like, once it does, you're just like, wow, the story goes quick on Cyberpunk.
And then Phantom Liberty gets going really quick. So
I feel that as games, now that physical versions aren't as common, their price doesn't go down. And digital copies prices don't really go down very fast. I'll probably be playing games more like just taking my time on them versus trying to crash through a bunch of games, because I don't have that kind of money where I can just buy a $70 or $60 game every few months.
Right.
Yeah, but Phantom Liberty was this expansion.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like all these new games, like I won't be able to jump into as many games as I'd like to, because the prices don't go down like they were. Like I bet this Black Friday, there might be a couple of good deals. But
Not
like the first buy one get one none of the more modern games were on there or anything like that. It's
Space
a couple
Marine
of newer
2 was
ones,
on
but-
there.
Yeah, Space Marine 2 and like the ReFantasia or whatever the game was, but like none of the stuff I've been watching or anything like that. I have a massive wish list digitally. None of the
None of
prices
them.
go beyond a certain point ever. So prices are kind of maintaining now that the physical copies are just kind of going away, and they don't have to lower the price to compete much
Yeah.
anymore.
The
So
number of
like,
games
it's
we've
getting
swapped
hard.
between each other, like one of us
Yeah.
would buy a game and then it's like, oh, Jared, here, have this, play that,
Yeah.
And here, Nick, have
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah, so I see myself getting back into some of this stuff probably next year a lot is doing that if I'm not spending all my time in Monster Hunter Wilds.
Mm.
It's funny.
Oh, that game.
Yeah.
It's a good game
Alright.
to get into.
All right, let's do some couch co-optionals, some trivia, and get out of here. Jared, do you have anything you'd like to share?
Couple things. Just a PSA that Arcane Season 2 is out. I haven't started it yet, but I want to. Because I finally watched the first season a couple months back and loved it. And Netflix just got a series I've always been kind of interested in. I've an anime series that I've never gotten to watch, but it's had like fighting games. I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool. The graphics are super cool. But I didn't know much about the series, so I started watching Ranma 1/2.
I've heard about that one. I'm curious about that. It looks
Yeah.
so ridiculous, but is it
It's
worth
on
it?
Netflix. The whole premise is this girl and guy have like this engagement that was set up by the family, but the Ranma is a character that him and his grandfather were doing some training in this kind of forbidden area, and they both fell into these different pools. The grandfather, when he gets splashed with cold water, he turns into a giant panda, and when Ranma gets splashed with cold water, he turns into a girl.
Oh.
And they can only
So-
turn back with hot water. So it's just, I've only made it like 2 episodes deep. It's pretty stupid and funny, and I've always been curious, and I might stick to it. It has several seasons on Netflix now.
I remember stalking that comic at Xanadu Comics back in the day and just being like, this is so dumb.
Yeah, it's
Right.
it's definitely, you can't take it like serious. I mean,
we get like
it has its
like
strong
one
points,
or two
but
issues
it's
in.
funny.
It's like, who fucking buys this?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny. I've always been curious about it, so I'm checking it out at least for now.
all right. Dave?
Oh, I haven't been watching much recently. I've been riding my bike. So I was going to say, if you've got a bicycle, get out and ride. It's lovely this time of year watching like all the leaves fall and looking at the mushrooms and generally just being out and about.
Getting wet.
Yeah, a lot of
Nice.
mushrooms out.
Yep.
This week. Yeah.
There was one at my work, and it was about the size of a dinner plate, like 12 inches
Dang.
diameter. It was a humongous mushroom. I've never seen one that big. It was kind of crazy.
That's awesome.
Cool. All right. Get some exercise, kids. Touch grass.
Yeah, go
Uh,
outside, children.
Yeah.
How about you, Nick?
So, little place in Southeast Portland called Birdie Time. It's a place that I'm probably gonna venture to a couple of times, but it's a indoor mini golf. It's got a golf simulator, but most importantly, they have a bunch of craft beer on tap. So
Mm,
Yay!
it's kind of it.
drunk ball.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It checks a lot of boxes.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
There
I've
you
actually
go.
been there to have a couple of beers. The vibe is nice. They play
Yeah,
some pretty
mini
cool
golf's
music
fun.
there too.
I
Um,
enjoy mini golf. I need to play it again.
So
I think I prefer mini golf more than golf.
yeah,
I could see that.
it's
Yeah.
Definitely
it's fun,
understand
and it's
that.
probably even a lot more fun when you're drinking some Northwest craft beer
200%.
while you do
Yeah.
it. Absolutely. So,
I don't hear
Anyway.
anything bad right now. Go on.
well, I mean, really not much more to say. I mean,
Sold.
Yeah, I mean, you just go there and
Sold.
Par for the
have
course.
a good time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aaron
Nice
wants to
call,
go on a
Thank
date
you.
with you.
All right.
Okay.
I'll be there on Saturday.
Okay.
All right, Aaron, what do you got?
Nice.
What do you got for us?
Well, so I kind of jump back into the show Agatha all along. I'm on episode 6 where there's this one kid. He's like kind of an apprentice of Agatha, but it turns out he's like Wanda's kid, Billy Maximoff, also known as Wiccan from the Young Avengers, and he kind of just fucks everybody up. Like he just, I can't remember why he does it, but I think it's because they turned on Agatha and buried her in sand, and then he like got her out and just went on a shit fit. But they didn't really reveal what he was doing or who he was until the very end of the episode. I'm like,
Thanks for spoiling it.
Yeah, I haven't started the show yet. Yeah, that's great.
Spoilers,
welcome.
the podcast.
Yeah, cool.
spoils. I could change my pants. I spoiled them.
Yeah.
Thank you. Awesome. All right, cool.
I do
Anything else?
best.
That it? All right.
Yep.
Sweet. One quick one, really quick. Jared's recommendation last week, the Extraordinary Life of Evelyn. Was that what it is?
Yeah, Evelyn.
That is a crazy good documentary, and yeah, it's fucking
Oh,
it'll make
it'll
you
get
cry.
some.
You'll
It'll
you'll
get something from you. Yeah.
it'll get something out of you.
Yeah.
It was really good. And then I'm gonna break the rule here, but I am gonna do something video game related. Wayfinder just came re-released. It was the MMO that was supposed to be free to play. They got screwed by their publisher. They had to turn and kind of pivot and remake the game in an action RPG, and it's super cool. It's available now. It's on sale, but it's a super fun game. It's 3-player co-op. Too many things to play because now I want to play that. I had to get done with Dragon Age, but I just wanted to throw out some Wayfinder love. Airship Syndicate is a great game developer. They've made great games, and it's super cool to see them like try and succeed with this game when they could have just like thrown in the towel. So want to give them some love, and hope people listen and check it out before next week's show when I talk about it more in depth. All right, Jared, give us some trivia.
Trivia. Let's see. Where is the video game capital of the world?
I'd say United States.
Warsaw.
Warsaw.
It's actually a city in the United States,
Is it really?
New York.
Redmond.
and a certain
Actually, that's
arcade
not
may
bad.
have been formed there.
Is this the one
And
you just talked about earlier?
Otuma, Iowa.
Otuma.
The Twin
Otuma,
Galaxies.
Iowa?
So
Mm.
Twin
Yeah,
Galaxies this is a follow up.
Yeah, it's kind of a follow-up. So the city, the mayor officiated it as the video game capital of the world, because they were like
Wow.
doing all these
Sure.
score counts and all
Weird.
that stuff, and they were also doing the official like Guinness Book of World Record stuff. It's also where like the first video game players were paid for their services. So like esports kind of started back in the like early 80s through them, through Twin Galaxies and all that stuff. So I mean a lot of things happened in Otuma, Iowa to make them
Out of
the
all
video
places.
game capital of the world.
I guess I would have gone with something like Tokyo and like Akihabara.
Well, I don't
district.
think
See, I like that in
those
terms of
countries
game
are as
players,
callous
like
as
LA or
United
LA or
States.
New York.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because the Twin Galaxies arcade apparently no longer exists.
It doesn't. Now it's like there's a different name of the I have it pulled up here. They kind of have like a museum put inside. There's a bunch of the old memorabilia inside an old school pinball and arcade in the Quincy Place Mall in Otuma, Iowa.
There you go.
Interesting. Something you learn every day.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool.
And that's been your trivia.
Yeah,
week.
There you
and that
go.
is trivia.
All right, boys, let's get out of here. Just remember, we're a podcast, and you can listen to our podcast on all the places that I
For
mentioned
free.
earlier. Yeah, for free. Always be free. And no one pays us money or gives us any free shit, so we don't. have
No,
to
we
talk.
just do this to hang out.
We don't
yeah,
have to. We
whatever.
don't have to. But we also that means we don't have to say nice things about people or companies.
Yep.
More games.
Yeah,
I wish
fuck
I
you.
got free games.
Same
Still talk shit
here.
about them.
Codes? Yes, please.
Send us free swag, please.
Yeah, yeah. I'd
If
like
you
a
want
new
to.
T-shirt. Mine are
And
And if you
pretty
don't, go fuck
ragged.
yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Except
Suck
for people
this
sending
dick.
free things.
Anyway, I want to thank Jared, Dave, Nick, and Aaron for joining me here on the couch for Couch Co-op. I mean, Ryan, you please be excellent to each other